Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. For the rest of you, thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and thank you for being so patient as I took a break. All right, so today we're going to do a video about Nicole Brown Simpson. We're also going to do separately O.J. Simpson and separately Ron Goldman. I don't think Ron Goldman gets enough credit for everything that's, well, credit for his life and credit for, the story of his death. I don't think he gets enough attention. So that will be a video that's completely separate. But today we're going to do Nicole Brown Simpson. So, obviously, we all have opinions on this case, and that's okay. Please leave them down in the comments for me. And remember, this is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. All right. So we're just going to try to pick up on her energy here. Okay, so the first, I get the Queen of Wands, Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So, interestingly enough, I feel like Nicole saw herself as someone who was older, wiser than what she was. And I'm not saying that she wasn't a wise person, but she definitely was, just she was 18 years old. She was basically a child when she met O.J. Simpson. And I believe there was almost a 20-year age difference between the two of them. And, now we look at that and have a problem. But back then, in the 90s and 80s and 70s, I guess that wasn't as big as an issue as it is now. But she presented herself as someone who was very mature. I keep getting a theme here and a thought here of hardworking. She wanted to be known as somebody that was a hard worker. And whether that meant she worked hard on herself, or that meant that she worked hard on projects, or worked hard on charity, worked hard whatever job she had at that point, that before O.J. Simpson came around, she wanted to be known as a hard worker. I feel like she lived a fantasy for a long time, or at least for enough time to trick her into getting married. And I really do feel like she was tricked into getting married because she was so young and she wanted to play with the grown-ups, but she wasn't a grown-up yet, which kind of goes back to this maturity thing here that I'm seeing. But I really feel like it was the ultimate, this is who I am, when she married O.J. Simpson, and she was able to establish who she was, but only as his wife. I think that was part of the trick, was she was going to be completely dependent on him. And I think that's probably part of the reason why she had such a problem with, being known as O.J. Simpson's wife. She wanted to be a hard worker. She wanted to be known as a hard worker. But I do think she was kind of tricked or love bombed into getting married. I guess we'll say love bombed. She had a difficult time balancing parts of her life. And one part of her life that she had difficulty balancing was her drug problem. Now, I don't want to go so far and call this a problem, but it was something that she did. She definitely used drugs, and it wasn't a situation where they controlled her, but it could have gotten that bad. She held herself at arm's length against the drugs because she really wanted to be a good mom. She really wanted to be able to be the best mom that she could be for her children. And sometimes it was a struggle. And sometimes she did turn to the drugs. The Lover's card. I feel like her and OJ were tied in every way. Like, I feel like he dominated her. And, we have evidence of such things, but I feel like he completely dominated her. And I think he dominated her in death as well. Putting in new cards here. Take a moment. Okay. So the Page of Wands, very young energy. This is talking about Ron Goldman. I wasn't going to right now, but this is talking about Ron Goldman, who was a young friend of hers, like an acquaintance, a friend. Like, I don't know if they were much involved outside of that, but she really cared for him. She really liked him. Like, he was a genuinely good person. He genuinely was a good person. And that was so rare to find, especially in her circle of people, where everybody came with a price. Whether that came with a price of her famous last name or her famous ex-husband, or, everything came with a price for her. So meeting somebody like Ron Goldman was a fresh breath of air because he was so kind. And I always look at the Nine of Cups and look at this shit-eating grin. Like, he's the, person who stole the canary out of the canary cage or killed the canary. I don't remember how that saying goes. But he's the person that got away with it. And, again, you have your own opinions. I have mine. I never believed that they proved him guilty in that trial. That trial was a mess. And, we'll talk about that in a different video, but I don't believe that the trial, they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he did it. No, they didn't. It was a mess. But I feel like the person or people responsible have moments where they laugh about it. And it's a disgusting sort of laughter, but they laugh about it. Contrary to popular belief, I think Nicole went first. I know some people say Ron went first, but I think Nicole did. I think they overkilled her. This is gross. I think they, trigger warning, gross, body functions, but I think they misconstrued the sounds of bodily gurgling as her trying to talk. She was already dead. Like, I think the first blow that they did for her first stabbing, killed her. And I just feel like this person, like, she was almost decapitated. And I think the person who was responsible for that had a shit-eating grin, for one thing, and got away with it. But the other thing, person got away with it. But I really feel like she went first, and I really feel like they mistook gurgling sounds as voice, and went over and almost decapitated her to make sure that she was dead. It was much an overkill. Very, very personal. Somebody wanted to feel like a hero that night. Somebody wanted to feel like they were coming to the rescue. And this could have been Ron coming to the rescue with the glasses that he had. But I don't think so. I feel like somebody had a hero complex that night and was like, I'm going to rescue you. Odd thought. Odd thought. Clearly, 2 people died that night, but the third person's life was ended in whatever capacity whoever killed these two people, their life was over too, because their life was going to be spent for the rest of their life in a mental jail of what this night was all about. What does Nicole want us to know? Okay. I still think there was two people there. This is somebody that was ready to fight, and two people had already done it. They had laid down their swords. They were done. The third person in this photo just could be energy left over of, because I don't think either one, Ron or Nicole, crossed over right away. I think there was shock happening, and I don't think they crossed over right away. So I think these two left with energy that was still out there. I think if you go there today, the energy's still going to be there, even though they have crossed over. Then I think the energy still lives there. The moon, you see, this happened. You know, her Akita got out and had blood on it and was trying to get somebody to come with her. Him, I don't know if him or her. But the dog tried to get people to follow it, and they did, and found Nicole. And then later on, the police found Nicole and Ron. They only saw Nicole first. But this tells me that the dog definitely knew what was going on. And I think if it hadn't left or ran away, it would have been dead too. I feel like she's very contemplative right now. Contemplative. I don't feel like she doesn't live in the energy of the darkness of what happened. She is beyond that now. She is definitely more wise. It's interesting. I keep hearing things about her maturity. Like, I was very mature for my age. I was, I grew up fast. I took on a lot of responsibility at a young age. I took care of an older male figure. Now, that could be your dad, that could be your grandfather. I don't know, but I feel like she had something to do with taking care of an older male figure in her life. And I do feel like she was groomed by O.J. Simpson. But she's looking at everything now from a place of being wise, not a place of being a shocked 35-year-old woman who got killed by somebody that she knew. And that is something I'm going to stick with. I'll say that I think she knew who her killer was. And I feel like she's so much more contemplated now. I know I'm kind of rambling here. She, interestingly enough, doesn't feel like a mother anymore. I think it's because she looks at her kids and she loves her kids, but she's not looking at them from a motherly perspective. She's looking at them through an earth perspective. Like, I love them. They're mine, but I don't feel like a mother to them anymore. Like, they've spent more of their life without me than with me, and they've had to get along with their own lives, and they had to, do their own thing. And, thank God they slept through what they slept through. That was a bloody miracle that happened. But they still had to walk through that scene to get out. I almost feel like they were shielded. like somebody put blankets over their heads or something, but I mean, they still saw. And I just, interesting enough, this void of being a mother. I've never seen this before, for someone to be on the other side and be a mother on the other side, or be a mother on this side, and um, have that void of motherhood. It's very much like she gave it up. Like, she had to give it up. Interesting. Um, she's got many tricks up her sleeve. She has done things in the past that have rattled the killer's bones. Like, she knows who the killer is. She always have. She knew who they were face to face. And I feel like she has done things like, hauntings and experiences and things that are upsetting to the killer. Dreams, voices, things like that. I feel like she's done a lot. I'm going to end this here because I'm going to pull one more card. Yep, she's very contemplated about especially the stories. Basically, she's like, don't let them feed you bullshit. This is all bullshit right here. So don't let them feed you bullshit. The truth is right here. The truth has been here the whole time. Just don't let them feed you bullshit, and don't drink it. So I'm going to end this right here because I'm getting a little tired, and I feel her energy is pulling back. So we're going to, maybe we'll do another one, maybe we won't, but we will do one about Ron Goldman, and we'll do one about O.J. Simpson. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.